Hi friends, it's Morag here for Hip Kit Club and welcome to Challenge 15 on the National Scrapbook Day celebrations. I hope you're all enjoying the challenges so far. I've got a super easy and fabulous challenge, Scraplift in this gorgeous layout by Marta. When I saw the layout on when she published it on the group, I fell in love with the design. I love the circles and those rosettes and thought it'd be a really fun one to scraplift. And so I'm just going to do it my own way. I'm just really using Marta's original as my inspiration. And you'll see that I do switch things a little bit, which I think to me is the best way to do a scraplift because you could copy it exactly and that's entirely up to you. So you could copy either of our layouts. But it's nice to put your own spin on things, your own interpretation, which hopefully you'll agree that is what I've done. Now I got myself this circle gadget. It's an EK Success one. It's my second time trying it out and I wasn't very successful with it, as you can see. I'd have been better off drawing around a plate, I think. I used to have like a compass cutter and I've had it for donkey's years and it still works, to be fair, but I thought, oh, I'll upgrade to something a bit fancy, but obviously need to learn how to use it because neither occasion has worked for me, quite frankly. And I'm sure they are fabulous because, it's a really good brand. Anyway, I'm cutting out a circular piece of pink cardstock from the cardstock kit. If you've never had the cardstock kit in the last, I don't know, is it 4 months or so, you'll find that they are branded Hip Kit cardstock now. And so they coordinate absolutely perfectly with the kit, of course. And they have a pattern on both sides, but it's a very subtle pattern. So one's a little bit more vivid and the other one's quite plain. So I am in love with those. They're a great weight, so they're great for die cutting and using as backgrounds, etc. So if you've never given one a try before, do give them a try because they are splendid and just what you need to complement your kit. So I'm going to make a couple of rosettes and I've got a die. So this is a Tim Holtz die and it's quite a few years old and it creates two small rosettes. But I wanted some bigger ones as well. So I'm going to do one by hand. So if you don't have a rosette die, then, you can use the same process to create your own. I've used a scoreboard to make things a bit easier, but in the old days before I had a scoreboard and before I had the die, I just did it all by hand on my cutting mat and a trusty ruler. It's a bit slower, but it definitely works equally as well. So I'm going to use a 12-inch strip of paper, and the wider your strip of paper, the more or the longer the length that you'll need. So if I were to do one at this size, for example, that you can see here, that's probably about 3 inches, 3 inches wide, I'd probably need double the length of paper because obviously the width of or the radius of the circle that we're trying to achieve will need a few more, will need quite a, I'm sure you can do pi r and work out the length, but anyway, I would just, if you do what I do, just do it by trial and error. So all you need to do is concertina fold that those scores. So I scored at every 1/4 inch, which is what my scoreboard's set up for, and I'm just concertina folding. Now if you can get nice sharp edges, use your bone folder to get some nice sharp edges and you'll have a lovely pretty rosette. So this one will be going under my photo, and to be honest with that, I probably could have done with a bit more of the length because it's quite a flat rosette. You'll see that in the final picture. So it's quite a fiddly process, I have to say. And I'm going to make one from the die cut here. So as well as your scored pieces, You'll just need a circle, so punch out a circle from some scrap paper or card. And it's just easy to secure your rosette onto that circle, so that will sit on the back, and then you can top it off with a circle on the front. Or what I've done is I've used one of the buttons from I think it is the main kit, the April main kit, to top off my rosettes. So you could do either. I've made rosettes in the past and just punch it or die cut a little circle, and they're great for adding an embellishment, some journaling. I mean, they're super cute. I love rosettes. And I thank Marta because I haven't made some rosettes for a while, so this is a really good exercise for me. So here's the tricky bit, is to push so you glue the edges of your rosettes together, as you can see there. And then once they've glued together, and just let that glue go off, you need to put your circle in the middle. And ideally, you need to put it under something heavyish, like a book, or in my case, my laptop, which was handy. So use some strong glue because you do need to keep it in place. And when that glue's gone off, it will keep your rosettes flat. So my apologies if you're used to making rosettes. So I've made up all my rosettes there. I cut out another circle, so I've got like a double circle, and you've used some of the pattern paper from the main kit. I did sew around the edge because I do like a bit of sewing, so I've sewn around the edge in pink, just had a bit of lovely detail, and then mounted it all onto another piece of cardstock, another pattern paper rather. Because mine's all about spring, I've used nice spring colours. And it's nice to go green, for everything's pink in my house, or in my craft room at least. So it's nice to go with a different colour. So I love those fabric words, which I think are from the main kit again. So I've just picked a couple of fabric words, but I think I'm just going to have a look. Let me have a look. You get quite a few in the pack. So it must be the embellishment kit. I keep saying to myself every time, I must go and look at what's in what. Because I'm terrible at taking things out of the packages, using them, and then mixing it with the packages. No, I tell a lie, they're in the Pocket Life kit. So if you're lucky enough to have the Pocket Life kit, you'll find there are a whole bunch of words. And I love that font. It's kind of a fairly relaxed font, and quite bold. So I'm going to use those in the middle. I've used the stencil from the colour kit on my background with one of the inks that came with the kit. It's a Gina K ink, and they're fab. I mean, it's just so lovely to have, the option to add on a stencil and some inks. When my package arrived this month, and it was kind of bumper package, it was like, whee! It was so much fun. So yes, I'm just adding a little bit of a stitching to the middle of those buttons just to finish them off. Obviously you don't need to do that, but I always like a button with some thread through it. And I'm going to use one of the frames from, it's like a test, this, isn't it? This is from the main kit for sure. Sorry about the fiddling. I'm just going to plug my phone in before it runs out of charge. And I've made up one of the rosettes that you'll find in the embellishment kit. So I did think I had recorded the process, but unfortunately I couldn't find it when I came to edit my video. So I don't know if I hadn't switched my camera on. But basically in the embellishment kit, you'll find there's a spiral piece of patterned card, and they have like a frilly edge, and all you need to do is take a small object like a thin paintbrush is what I used, and just wind it around your paintbrush, starting on the inside, working towards the outside. Or do you work from the out? No, you work from the outside. See, now I've gone to sleep. I think you work from the outside into the inside, and then you just need to glue the centerpiece into place. But when you do it, actually, I think you'll find there's only one way, and you end up with these lovely rose-shaped flowers. It's been a busy old week preparing for National Scrapbook Day, so I have been doing several different things at the same time, so my brain's gone to mush. Well, that's my excuse. So you can see it was influenced by Marta's layout in as much as so the key things I took away from her layout were the central title going through the middle. She of course had a long title going straight across. Mine's broken up. The rosettes and the circular photos. So although not the same, actually you can see where the influence came from, which I think is a perfect version of a Scraplift. And if you are scraplifting layouts, it's always a good idea to credit the original person with a thank you, and just tag them in online. So I know it's always nice of people to scraplift layouts, and it's a real compliment, but sometimes I think people forget, or they've forgotten who they scraplifted, so do be sure to write it down somewhere. So I'm just going to finish off my layout. I mean, it's almost done. I just like to froof it up with a few little stickers. The puffy stickers are so cute. The little bunnies and rainbows and so on. And always the best part of a layout, isn't it? Just to add the last few die cuts and stickers. And I think, the kits are always so generous. I always seem to have loads left over each month. So I used to be of the mindset of saving it for a rainy day. And really now, because I know there's so many flowers and leaves and so on, you can just go mad on all your layouts and really enjoy the process rather than having to worry and save the bits and pieces. So I'm really pleased how that came out. It's a picture of my daughter when she was, I think this is back when she was about, I'm going to say 5 or something like that. She was such a happy little girl in the garden. She was always running about and, just smiling. So I do have to remind her that now she's a teenager. If you've got a teenager, you know exactly what I mean. So while I'm just finishing off here, I'm going to leave you with the close-ups. I really hope I've inspired you to take part in the challenge number 15. If you do take part, then just take a photograph of your layout and then pop it into the album on the Hip Kit Club group by the deadline. So the deadlines will be posted in the group, and you'll be in with a chance to win a token or a gift voucher to spend in the shop. And I think there might be a sale of grab bags up for grabs. So it'd be a really good time to win anyway. And even if you don't win, go and check out, because I'm sure there's heaps of fabulous products in there at bargain prices. So I really would love to see what you do. So I'm just finishing off. Well, you'd think I'd be finishing off. Right, here we go. So I'm going to leave you with those close-ups now. Thanks so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And I shall see you on the group, hopefully. And hope to see you soon online. Take care now. Bye.